Disclaimer. The purpose of our podcast is to give holistic wellness information that doesn't replace medical advice and/or attention. Please sit back, take a deep breath, slow down, and enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Kamu Talks, guys, where we talk about healing
and wellness
and everything in between. Guys, welcome back. I know it's been a while since we last filmed together, but Jenn AB is back in the house, yo. Drum roll, Jenn AB. Welcome, Jenn.
Thank you.
Oh, we missed you.
I miss doing this. This is fun.
This is fun, and today's gonna be special because you know why? No agenda.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be more fun because look what we have.
We're doing skincare
Products. And one more thing. Look it.
What is this?
So, we at the Kamu Talks are celebrating our 1 year.
Oh my god.
It had been a year since our first episode with
I
you.
was thinking about it. And I was like, has it been a year? And I was like, I think it wasn't. Get out of here.
And we are releasing this on that day. So I would like to personally thank you for continuously showing up. And you're a very, very busy woman with many very, very busy things happening in your life.
God, Abby.
But I would like to thank us because when the Kamu Talk started, I'm going to cry. When the Kamu Talk started, you were my number one supporter. When I introduced it to you, you said, "Oh my God, yes, that sounds like a great idea." So from there, it's been a year.
That was quick.
It's been a year. So, and we're just starting. Honestly, we're just starting.
I know.
So thank you very much.
Thanks, Abby.
We're gonna do a.
Are we gonna blow out the candle?
Yes.
Oh no! It's already. Oh! Should we light it?
Here.
I was gonna tip my.
See, I told you this episode is gonna be fun.
I was gonna tip my cake.
Did you not see the cake at the back?
No.
I'm like, is she gonna
Was this
see
always
it?
On?
No, I just put it right now.
I'm gonna burn down your house. This girl.
Thank you to another year.
Thank you, Abby, for trusting me and having me on the show.
Thank you. And looking back at our 2024, which we're gonna be talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Right? And here's to more episodes to come. And more collaboration to come, and more healing, wellness, and everything in between. Here we go.
Oh my god, I feel like we're screaming into the microphone.
For a moment like this.
You always sneak things out. Sorry, bro.
Guys, we're going to be doing something different this time, as Jenn AB suggested. We're going to be doing a little bit of skincare.
Yeah.
And a little bit of reflecting of how 2024
or even the
went.
year since we started.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I
like that.
How do you typically start your skincare?
I usually use like an essence.
Same.
I use my hand though. I'm like very.
Oh.
Yeah. The only time I use like a little towelette or something is if I'm using toner. But I find I don't use toner on my face much.
What is toner for?
I don't know. It's like
I just started doing it without knowing what it's for. Like to clean the impurities?
Yeah, and I think it evens out your skin tone too.
Oh.
Yeah. It evens out. You know what I use toner for? I use it for my underarms.
Oh.
And then, yeah, and depending on how strong the toner is, you don't have to wear deodorant. And
I heard that.
Yeah. And it also lightens the discoloration or hyperpigmentation. It's really good. I just started doing that a few months ago. Not consistently because of travel and stuff, but
I find that you also have to find the right toner, because if you get an alcoholic version,
yeah,
alcoholic, but like
if it's too strong or something. Oh, sorry.
You're good. Like it could really dry your skin.
Yep, and then you can break out.
Mm-hmm. So I'm putting. Or do you have the same essence as me? It's the ginseng essence water.
Yes, I like it.
It's to brighten the skin, right?
There's a green tea one that's really good too that I got from Anna.
Is it mainly to brighten your skin or to
I think it's to like make your skin like smooth and soft. I find it makes my skin very soft. There's one that used to use from Kiehl's, but you know Kiehl's is
Kills is so expensive.
expensive, but it was so good. Honestly, like my skin was so supple with it. But I find also too now, like with the combination of products that I use, that my skin is still pretty supple. So
And do you have what's your second step after your essence? Do you only have one essence?
yeah, I only use one essence. I try not to overdo it.
Sure.
And then I'll
Less is more.
use this. Actually, I lied. This is also an essence.
This is also. I feel like we have the same.
Yeah, we did. I don't count this as an essence, but it is an essence
And what it's
from
for?
Corsex.
Mhm.
It's snail mucin.
And what is it for?
I think it's just to make your skin hydrated because that's how it feels on my skin.
That, and I heard something about like if you have some newer scars,
Oh, really?
it can eliminate those scarring. So
The essence? Or
Yeah.
just snail mucin?
snail mucin.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Well, I meant to have forks for us for our cake, but
We can get
Oh,
forks
well.
after. This is so fun.
isn't it fun?
Yeah, it is actually. This is like I usually do skincare when I'm home because I have time. But like I haven't done it in a few days, and this is
Yeah.
nice.
And you haven't done it in front of people, like in
Oh
front
yeah,
of
that's true. I keep forgetting
YouTube
there's
people.
technically people there watching
YouTube
us.
people, our viewers.
The YouTube peoples.
So you see all these things in YouTube and Instagram and TikTok with like 20-step skincare.
That is impossible. Nobody actually does that in their life.
And
That's
who can
crazy.
afford that though? Even if you have all 20,
But
how are people affording all these things? And do you need all of those?
I feel like there's definitely like overconsumption going on. But I also feel like the people that like have made their lives doing this, they don't pay for those things, right? That's why they
It's
do it.
more like
Yeah,
sponsorship.
They get like PR packages.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're able to, like the ones that are overdone, like where they squirt everything on their face and like they rub it in. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they actually keep that on their face.
No.
I feel like they wash it off after. But this is nice. It's like, whatever.
It's
not a big
very
deal.
like chill and all that
Yes.
stuff. I'm one step ahead of you.
Where are you? Oh my gosh. See,
Don't worry about me. I'm gonna do your C. You have the 20 step. That's why.
it's 4.
Low key, you have the 20 step.
This is my cream. Snail mucin
So
again.
it's not the essence. It's just the cream version.
Yeah.
What's the difference? It's just like
Have
a
you
daily
tried the cream before?
No, can I try it?
Oh my god, yes. It's so good.
Oh, Jen has the money.
This? No, girl. This was like $24. You better stop.
and it
was it
lasts you.
24?
It probably lasts you a while too.
Yeah, it's cheaper at the what's that store called? Uniqlo?
I can't believe they sell it there.
Yep, they do. Walmart has it for I think it was like $35 or something. The snail mucin cream, face cream. But Uniqlo is it called Uniqlo or did I just make that up? The
No,
little-
you're right.
It's like the little Korean store. I assume it's Korean. I might be wrong.
No, you're
At
right.
the mall, right?
Is it? I
Uniqlo.
don't know. Put it down below, guys, if you know.
Put it down below. As if we're not the one advertising.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So after you do you SPF?
I usually do when I'm like working
Mm-hmm.
because I sit in front of a screen to chart and stuff, but I don't always use SPF. And I find this really hydrating, so I prefer it. The SPF I use though is Hydro Boost.
Ooh, from
What is Neutrogena?
yeah, it's good.
It's
I
in
tried
like
it
a-
before.
Yeah, it's like a blue
Mhm.
tube.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I usually will put Laneige sleeping mask on my lips, but I forgot it. I don't have it here. And that thing is like the only thing
It's
I
good
use besides
too.
lip gloss. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot of trial to trying to figure out what works with your skin. And,
Mhm.
not all the products out there will be effective for you.
No. This is another cream I use, but I'm not going to do it now. This is by Clinique. It's dramatically different moisturizing gel. You have to get this. These are the only 2 things I like
That you
to
put
use.
together.
Yeah, on my face.
Well, they said that you have to put SPF all the time
Ye-
because screen exposure. Even
Yeah.
if it's winter.
Yeah. And the sun and all that stuff. I feel like there's so many things around us that's giving off these rays. So I get it.
Right.
But it's okay.
But in the spirit of looking good, do you remember our episode with looking good and how that affects our mental health and how you show up to the world and how you feel about yourself?
Oh, yeah. Like when you feel good, when you look good, you feel
You
good.
feel good.
Oh, yeah,
Do you remember
definitely.
that episode we did?
That was, what episode was that? Where we talked about,
I feel
oh,
like
I talked
6
about how I
maybe.
went outside.
And then somebody held the door for you.
Yeah. And then the other time I went outside looking like a bum and I was scared to go over
Right.
with the gentleman over there. Yeah.
That was a really good episode, and I will share it right here.
Oh, in the box?
Yeah.
I'm also putting eyeshadow on my face, guys, because my
Eyeshadow?
my undertone, so this is the struggle.
Interesting.
So my skin's lighter in the winter and darker in summer. Right now I'm in between, so my light doesn't quite match my skin. I'm using Halo Glow liquid filter, but I like to put this on so it doesn't come out pale. So it's still warm under my skin.
Wait, is this the red color right now that I'm seeing?
No, that's the eyeshadow. So I use because I also like eyeshadow because it's highly pigmented. So this is my palette. It's by Juvia. It's nothing exciting. I really like this yellow shade Jamila. So I put that under so that this doesn't show up as pale on my skin. Yeah.
See, you learn all these tips and tricks.
Girl, I just be getting by.
Do you go for a more natural look?
Yep.
Oh, I do a lot of natural look, and I feel like sometimes, you know what, I could do a little bit more.
Only if I'm like going out on a date or like a function, I'll do the most. But most times I'll just do this. And I put mascara. I don't do my lashes anymore because they're pretty long that it just looks dramatic when that's not what I'm looking for. So I just stick to mascara. I found a really good mascara that achieves the look I want. And then I put eyeliner to make it look like stand out a bit more. Yeah.
The new thing that I've been doing now is, for the longest time, I didn't know if I like this fluffy eyebrow look.
Oh, it's nice.
Isn't it nice?
Yeah, I like it. How did you get it to look like that?
Gel. This really cheap elf brow lift.
Right? Elf, man. Elf is winning.
Honestly. Because I went to Sephora and they had this gel and it was really expensive and it didn't even bring my brows up.
No.
And for the longest time, I was using the soap technique. Have you heard of the soap technique?
No, please explain.
So you get a spoolie, then you get a clear soap, like the pear soap.
Oh,
And then
I've seen, yeah.
you just wet it, and you use it as the gel, and it's supposed to keep it
Like in place.
Yeah, but then I would sweat, and there's white chunks,
Like, what is this?
like bubbling.
Ma'am, are you okay?
Oh my goodness!
You're like, yeah, I promise I'm fine. All is well.
Was there Jen? If you look back last year, was there episode from the Kamu Talks that you really like in the sense that, like, which episode did you learn most from? Not necessarily like the episode number, but like if there was a lesson in there,
Yeah,
that you kind of stood out to you.
I feel like
2024.
it wasn't so much of a lesson, but more like just to reflect. My first episode, I think about that episode all the time.
Episode 1.
Yeah, because remember how I was like, I don't know if I was telling you this in the episode or a side conversation where I was saying like, even to like, I left Instagram, and then when I went back to Instagram to like even post a picture was like unnerving for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like every time I watch an episode, I'm always like, I feel like I disassociate, like that it's me sitting there talking. It feels odd. I do enjoy sharing. I feel like sharing my story was some sort of like an emancipation for me to like actually watch myself talk about all the different lessons and stuff.
But watching it is a different story for you.
Yeah, I couldn't watch it for a bit. I don't know if I ever told you.
Yes, you told me.
Yes, I couldn't watch it for quite some time because it was, I don't know, like it just felt.
I just feel like it's because you're a private person.
Yeah.
And showing up like that in this platform is one of those things where you're like, I don't want to be vulnerable. I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
And then the thing too is like, I was never a private person before.
Oh, you're not.
Yeah. I feel like I am and I'm not. I don't know how to explain it. I feel like I'm not private with the people that I'm comfortable with. I'm very like open or whatever. But then at the end of the day, it's like, it's the internet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it takes a lot for you to be out like this in public and
talking
and sharing your opinion. It's a lot. Like
Yeah.
it's not something. It's not a walk in the park. Like
No.
sometimes even when we debrief, right, we talk about like we have to put a disclaimer and
Yes.
our opinion might be different from others, and therefore, like being in a platform like this it makes you vulnerable.
Yeah, it makes you vulnerable.
And people get to know you in a different level too.
Yep. Yeah.
So maybe that's what
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
And then one of the other episodes that also stood out to me was this was, I don't remember the name of the episode. I think we were talking about like stress management and time management. And I had to sit with myself and be like, okay, like am I actually able to be consistent with some of the things that we talked about? Because I'm still very much trying to like gauge where I am in regards to like just balancing out my life. And I feel like also like traveling for work makes it a little bit difficult because you have such a short amount of time to actually participate in your life outside of work.
So
Right?
there's some guilt associated too.
Yeah.
Like is what I'm doing actually, like am I practicing what I'm preaching?
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Because like coming here, I was like, I walked in, you're like, you look exhausted. I'm like, yeah, because like I'm so overwhelmed, and you know, like you have to do so many things in a condensed time. And also too, because I made the beginning of my year a little bit work heavy so I can kind of chill towards the end of the year, you know? So my turnarounds are very short. And so I find that it's hard to have routine and be consistent. When I'm away, I actually do better like with mental health because there's nothing else going on. I don't have a life there. I don't have friends.
Because I have a routine, and I feel like
yes,
we talk about that in other episodes where routine is actually good for you,
it is.
right?
Yeah.
Versus when you do come here, it's like different pace, different.
I don't have a routine when I'm home.
No, and
I don't.
you want to relax, but you can't.
Yeah. Yeah. And then sometimes I relax too much because I'm like, well, I haven't been home in forever, so I need to relax.
And that's okay.
I know, but then
the other stuff kicks
yeah,
in.
then the guilt, you're like, but you worked. Okay, so like this time when I went, I did keto intermittent fasting.
I know, you look good.
Right? I felt so good. And like literally I've been home for a week and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm seeing bumps where the bumps had disappeared. Now they're all back. But I just feel like that's just life for now and that's okay. But the constant battle of, am I doing too much? Am I doing enough? Am I, you know, is I go back and forth. But
also with your time difference, like I honestly, when we had the episode about sleep, and then you with your schedule and being, you know, coming to Ontario and you know, having a different schedule, that will throw you off.
It does throw me off.
And, you know, you're going to feel exhausted. That's for sure.
I feel like what I need to do, like, and I did it this time. I usually take a day to do nothing. Like the day after travel day, I usually don't do anything. I don't engage in anything.
Did you honor that?
Yeah, which I did this time actually too, which was nice. And
good.
But sometimes it's hard to.
Because you want to do so much in a small period of time.
Yeah, because you miss out on everything and you're like, oh my God.
So I feel like, yeah, it's a lot. And you know what? That's I know the guilt factor that you were mentioning earlier. Like, am I really practicing and preaching? But honestly, it's like an everyday thing. Like, I'm sure all of the people that are preaching are not always 100%. There will be days and there will be times when, well, I'm not 100% right now. And it's okay because you're human. As long
Yes.
as you know the concept
Yes.
and you try to get back in the path of
Yeah.
knowing
Yeah.
and applying it,
Yes.
like you're human. And again, being hard on ourselves, right?
It's so easy.
It's so easy. To me, I think from all of the episodes that we actually film,
Yeah.
I feel like what really stood out to me is what I still really am working on, and that's the people pleasing part.
Yeah.
That's the most views we've had actually to date in Kamu Talks, and there was a lot of feedbacks and a lot of comments, and people
Yeah.
can actually relate.
Yeah.
We think we're alone in that department, but there's actually more people experiencing that, you know.
Yeah, and I could see that because I feel like that's how we're raised.
Mm-hmm.
Like our society is very much into, well, don't make it awkward, right?
Like
Or
don't
don't make
ruffle
it-
feathers.
Yeah, or don't make it uncomfortable.
Mhm.
And I think also too, like, again, I don't want to say it's only like immigrants or whatever, but I feel like
No,
it's
I don't
very
think it's
heavy.
I don't think it's just the
Yeah.
immigrant piece.
I feel like a lot of people, to some extent of their upbringing, are raised to tiptoe. And it's not sold as tiptoeing, though.
What do you
It's
mean?
sold as being nice and don't be difficult. Nobody sells it as like, oh, you have to tiptoe around,
The
you know,
wording.
this. Yeah. It's always like, oh, but you're just, you know, you should be, what's the word I'm looking for? Agreeable, or, you know,
Yeah.
don't be difficult. Like, why are you the only one that
Yeah.
wants to
Go against the grain.
Yeah.
and,
But
like,
I hear what you're saying.
I mean, I'm sure our parents are coming from a good place of, you know,
Of course. I definitely agree. Like, I don't think they're doing it
No.
because they think they're going to screw us up or something.
I mean, it's
but-
like multifactorial. Like, the Philippines is under colonialism for many years, and like these deep seated subconscious beliefs are gonna get passed through
Yep.
generation to another. And you know, it's like you said, there's so many levels. There's we gotta make shirts for that. There's so many levels.
Yeah. There's so many levels.
To consider, you know.
Because if it was just cut and dry, things would be easier. But
Mhm.
we're humans and we're complex beings.
That's
And
right.
life is only fun when it's complex. So we have to, you know, go
Well,
with the flow.
And I feel like too with 2024 Kamu Talks is giving grace. And I've never forget episode 1 because for the longest time I didn't know what that meant, but now I'm applying it every day. So if there's something that really resonated with me and I'm still definitely working hard towards, is giving grace.
Yeah.
It's easy said than done. But it's actually one of those things where it takes practice.
It does.
It takes practice.
every day.
Yeah.
Because remember when we just literally we're just talking about, oh, we're so hard on ourselves because it's so easy
Uh-huh.
to be hard on yourself, right? Where when you give grace, you're like, I acknowledge it and I see it, and you know what? It's okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
The fact that you can acknowledge that
Yes.
you have to be graceful at a certain point in time
Yeah.
is you're already winning.
Yeah. That's awareness.
That's awareness. And
Yeah.
some may be struggling with that.
Yeah.
Some may be like, what do you mean? At what point do I find grace? Right?
Yeah. And also too, we do it for people. We give people grace all the time,
But we don't do it to ourselves.
but we don't do it to ourselves, right? And it's a deeper reflection of how you view yourself.
Hmm.
Remember when I made a statement about I felt like I had to earn love or
Mhm.
worthiness?
Mm-hmm.
I think that all those things go hand in hand, that you have to literally remind yourself on a daily basis that you're worthy and that you also matter, because we're always willing to do it for the people that we hold dear, right? Not
But
just
not-
anybody, but you know,
Not ourselves.
but not ourselves. So
Yeah,
It's definitely-
it's an ongoing, kind of like yoga. You know, when you practice yoga, it's not the best person in the room that can do the best yoga pose. It's the journey.
Yeah.
So my lotus pose will be different from your lotus pose
Yep.
because it's your capacity.
Yep.
And if you do want to improve that craft, you'll get there with time.
Yeah.
Right? So,
And I relate to that because so I did like a little vision board. So one of a colleague of mine does a vision board party at the beginning of every year.
you did that?
No, I didn't get to attend.
Because those are fun.
I didn't
You
get
should
to
do
attend.
one.
This is her second one
We should do an episode with vision board.
with vision boards.
And then
Yeah,
just chat.
that would be fun. Yeah,
Look at
I didn't get to attend, and then so I ended up just doing one on my own, but it wasn't a
Sure.
board. I just made a list of stuff that I want to work on, and came to yoga, and I'm like, I feel like I've been doing yoga not consistently, like every week or whatever, but I feel like I've been doing it for a while, and I feel like I'm not where I want to be. So the goal for that, instead of focusing on too much, I was like,
the journey.
I'm gonna master a pose,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna give myself a year to get better at it. And then I've immediately, like the negative thoughts that I had about my inability to do certain poses a certain way, just immediately, like, I gave myself grace.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, we're just going to say that this is what we're going to master for the year. And then, like, I was just like, all right, on to the next. It didn't live in my head anymore.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it didn't live in my head anymore of how it could be better or
Good.
whatever. Because yoga's hard, man.
So that leads me to our next point.
Mm-hmm.
Since you talk about getting better, you're giving yourself a year to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that you're looking forward to for year 2025?
2025. So another thing that, and this wasn't even from last year, another thing that I had always wanted, and I feel like this is a point of growth, but not really. And maybe I'm just being hard on myself. So for the longest time, I was like, I want to learn focus and discipline. Like those are the two things I want to work on, because I've never had structure or anything like that. And I'm at a point in my life where I'm like reparenting myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So choosing consistency over instant gratification will help me build discipline and focus. Girl, it is so hard.
It's hard.
When you're used to like being in a phase where, first of all, you've been resting from survival mode and have been like, oh my gosh, this is great. I don't want to ever like work too hard again. And then there's, oh my gosh, I could ramble forever. And then I went into this whole thing of, well, it's not survive. We don't need to be surviving anymore, but we still need to maintain the lifestyle and,
Right.
you know, like, and go forward in life and progress. So I can't rest anymore. But then it was like, oh, but then the only way I know how to do it is if it's like for survival, then I'll go hard. I only knew one extreme to the other. I never knew how to wave and ebb and, you know, kind of
This is your
balance state.
path.
Yes. So that's what I wanted to learn in 2024.
It's
And-
the ebb and flow.
Girl, I had no idea that it was going to be so hard. And then also there's like a few circumstances that arise with work and like all these things and a lot of juggling. And I feel like I'm in a place where I'm like, I have stability now, in terms of work, that I can actually focus on flowing and ebbing. But one thing I also realize is that like, yeah, you can flow and ebb, but like if you're used to choosing A and now you have to disregard A and choose B because we're not choosing instant gratification anymore. We're choosing things with lasting effect. We're choosing things that are going to build habits like discipline, structure, and all that. It's very difficult, especially with an adult brain.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
neuroplasticity is different compared to a little child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's part of the reason why I wanted to do the vision board, because I wanted to set my goals and then based on that, set my weekly intentions. And that's another reason why like when I come home and I'm off my routine bothers me so much, because it sets me back so much. Right. As opposed to when you're away and there's nothing else going on and all you have is time to focus. And, you know, so this year, I really want to work on being intentional. This whole thing about being intentional, it's not easy. And
No.
I think I realized, I knew it wasn't easy, but I realized how much harder it was.
Yeah.
Because the last time being intentional was about self-development. That was my initial thing. You know, like I have all these like phases of learning and growth that I want to improve. And I feel like the personal development stuff, that was a cakewalk for me because I like that stuff. That stuff comes easy to me and it's only going to improve me, like myself, like within myself. Right. So I was excited about it. And also too, like it was at the beginning of my trauma, but now that I'm like resting and you're like, oh, I got to put on my armor and go back out there. It's like, well, but you don't have to put on an armor. You're not surviving anymore. But it's like, I can't get. Yeah. So sorry, I ramble on, but I'm telling you, it's a lot of work because now when you have the option, again, when you have the option to choose A and B and you're like, well, B will take longer, but the payoff will be so much better. And you're like, yeah, but you know what? A has been good. And like, I'm comfortable. But I can't have A? Oh, I can't have A, but I have to choose not to choose A. But it's in my face. That's my struggle right now. So 2025, we're going to choose better in terms of doing things for ourselves, not necessarily outside of ourselves, but I'm going to choose better for longevity, even if it's not fun, right?
Example.
So like I don't want to call it a weight loss journey, but that's the payoff that I get from being healthy. And I'm telling you, Abby, when I was away, I lost 15 pounds in 3 weeks.
I know you told me that.
And yeah, and it didn't, I did it without sweating. It was easy. I was in a place where, and this community I was in, I don't even want to call it a community. It was like an actual city, like a small town, transient town. But there was like fast food and stuff. And usually there's nothing else there. It's usually very like remote and you have to bring your own food. I didn't have to bring any food. I did groceries while I was there. They had No Frills. They had Starbucks. Like it was a regular town, like, you know, and I was still able to stick to my guns. I could have gone to Popeyes or my favorite little fast food places or even gone and sit at a restaurant. And I didn't do it. And I'm used to not doing it because it's not available, but this one was all available and I didn't do it. And I would, you know, and I wasn't like, I didn't feel like I was missing out. It was just a choice. It was just a choice.
So those are the hard choices that you have to make for a certain result that you want to see.
Yes. But it's hard to make them here because when I get home, it's like, finally, I'm home.
You can kind of relax. Put your guard down.
Yes. Put my guard down. And then the guard goes from like up here to the pits of hell. Right. And I'm sleeping in.
But I do want to say though, we need that balance.
Girl, for a few days.
I see what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard to end it. To be like, I'm only going to do this for a few days. And it's not like I don't eat out. I cook a lot of my foods, but we have a lot of like heavy starches and stuff like that, right? So, and I felt good. Like I was in a fog for, I would say the last 6 months. I've been in a fog where I wake up and I'm still tired. And that's gone. Even though I've been back home and eating like back to my heavy starch diet, the fog is still gone because I fasted for quite some time. And, you know, I want to maintain this. So like, the next few days before I go again, I'm just trying to get back. But yeah, I feel like I ramble a lot. But that's what I'm trying to get to. Like where there's consistency. Like, yeah, the things I want to do for myself or even skincare. Like my skin has been good for some time now. It was a struggle before. But so now what I'm learning is I'm taking it in steps. Like focus on one thing and not be so hard on myself. And then school too. I've gotten so much better with school. But that was another struggle where it's like, should I binge watch this lovely episode that I've been waiting for however many weeks? Or should I start my assignment that's not due in 8 weeks?
So those are,
you know what I mean? Like, obviously I'm not going to start the assignment that's due in 8 weeks. But then 8 weeks comes and you're like, oh my God.
I had that option 8 weeks ago to work on the assignment.
Yes. So that's where I'm at.
Well, thanks for sharing that. I think every day is a learning opportunity. And the more you practice it, the more you get better at your goals. And the choices that you make.
Yes. What
Mhm.
about you?
What am I looking forward for
Yeah.
2025 is more guesting.
Ooh, okay.
People have spoken. They like more inspirational guests and stories.
Yes.
For Kamu Talks, I really, really just wish an information-based wellness platform where people can, just have fun. Come here, have a good laugh with us. Maybe
That's fun.
have a good cry. And sometimes too, when you're caught in this wheel of always wellness, there's almost that piece of like, oh, this is exhausting. Like too much educational piece.
Yes, too much information.
Yeah, and it's like information overload
Yeah.
versus like what we're doing today. We're doing a makeup routine.
Yes, this was fun.
Right?
So much
It's
fun.
more fun. People feel like they're just sitting with us in their home and having fun.
And we're just having a conversation. It's
Yeah.
not that deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like people will always seek that community, and I want them to feel like we
That's
are
what
your
it is.
community.
Yeah, that's what
We
it
are
is.
your community versus us telling you the information that
Yeah.
you probably will find in Google or somewhere or some platform that's probably been around and is better
Yeah.
than us, in terms of information.
Yeah.
I feel like I want that balance where people can have fun in our platform too.
I agree.
So, but in terms of myself and self-improvement, I just practicing that continuous compassion, because as a creative, I'm always searching for the next and the next. And if I don't see a result, I'm like, well, why am I not seeing a result? But good things take time. Again,
Yes,
good
they
things
do.
take time. So it's, being patient and being graceful with everything I'm doing. Plus, it's for a good cause, right? It's not. This is all for a good cause.
Yes.
Is what I'm saying. And always to being clear with your purpose.
Mhm.
Every day, always going back to your whys.
Yeah.
I always want to go back to my why. Why am I doing this? Because there are days when you're like, is it all worth it? Is it all like
Am
all
I
the
doing so
hard
much?
work? And, just being clear with
Yeah.
what you truly want, what you want to achieve. And again, that's easier said than done. But
Mhm.
you got to be choosing the right choices.
Yes.
Right?
Between A and B. Don't be choosing the quick gratification. Yeah.
Quick.
It's hard. But I understand what you're saying in regards with especially the purpose piece. Because I think that's probably why I get stuck sometimes, and I feel like that was part of my struggle with going back to school, because it's like I felt like sometimes I would ask myself, like, why am I even doing this? Like, I'm comfortable, and it's like, yeah, but are you really comfortable? Right? And it's like,
Expand on that.
like, obviously we all work for financial gain. I'm going back to school because I want to better my the outcome of my income, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
I feel
No,
like
that
it's
makes sense.
Yeah. The outcome of my income, I will make better money with more education and whatnot. And sometimes, again, and that's why I always say survival mode. Because I'd been in survival for so long, even the slightest bit of rest is going to feel like heaven sent. Like the end all and be all, like, I can finally sit down and I don't have to worry. So like, it's like, yeah, but this rest could be better. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's where I'm at with like going back when I think of my purpose, like why am I doing this? It's like, yeah, obviously, like, you're still traveling 6 months out of the year.
It's a lot, Jen.
It's a
if
lot.
you think about it.
If you want a family, who's going to do this with a family?
Especially because we're creatures of habit.
Yes.
So we always want that routine.
Yes.
And for you, that's like, you do, but you don't.
Yeah. My routine is not at home.
Right.
My routine is at work.
So for an average person, trying to build that routine is going to be
difficult.
Hard for you.
Yeah. And so it's like, right now it works for my lifestyle, but and it's like, but don't you just not want to do that? Right?
There's like this little whisper in your head. Like,
Okay, it's great because again, I don't have a family, so it's easy to do.
But we're also ever evolving. So
Yeah.
nothing is set in stone. So like
Oh, I know.
this is your page, like this is your moment right now,
Yeah.
but then your moment might be different, and what you want might be different
I
6 to a
know
year
that.
down the road.
Yes, it would be different, but I'm trying to get out of my head. And that's what I'm saying. When you're in survival mode, the slightest bit of rest could be so deceiving because you're like, oh, but you're not. And I'm not saying survival mode like a money thing. It was a mental health thing where I was constantly doing the most, anxiety to the nines. So, I'm in a place where I don't have the same stressors. I actually like myself. I'm happy. Like I've embodied happiness within my soul. And certain things I have.
Oh, say that again.
I have embodied happiness in my soul. Anyone that I have come across in the last few years, not even last few years, I've always been known as a happy person. I've always known that about myself. But like I told you before, I did not know how anxious I was. I was a very anxious person.
And I would have never guessed that.
Nobody would have guessed it because I held it so well.
But you caught yourself.
Yes.
And how did you find out?
I found out there was an occasion that happened that made me realize, but this was also after I was out of my my situation that I talked about in the first episode.
Episode.
I went to a cottage with Anna Lim and a bunch of her friends. And, I was so overstimulated by just the mundane stuff that was happening. So like, again, when you're used to being a certain person to people, they expect you to be that person all the time.
Okay.
So I remember people were getting to the cottage, like, oh, Jen, are you going to come out? Bless you. They're like, oh, Jen, are you going to come down to the water? Oh, Jen. And I was like, oh my God, like, I just want to be in a room. I know these people. I hang out with Anna's friends more often. So at this point, I know who they are. I'm very comfortable around them, but I just wanted to be by myself.
I think it's that fight or flight too, where you just want to be resting and be left alone.
Yes.
It's not necessarily that you didn't want to be around that group of people.
Yeah.
It's more so, this is my form of rest. This is my form of excitement.
Yes.
Like just being still.
Just being still.
Yeah.
And like I had been to a cottage with other friends too. And again, it wasn't like that where I just wanted to stay by myself, but I just found like the slightest bit of stimulation was too much for me.
Wow.
And
this was fresh off of what had happened.
It wasn't even fresh. That's what I mean.
I was like, sorry.
It was like during, so like it had happened and I was just like going forward with my life. And this was just like, oh, let's go to cottage. My friends are renting a cottage. You want to come? And I was like, oh yeah, like I'm not doing anything. What?
A light bulb just click in.
Tell me.
Click in.
I just clicked.
A bulb
just went off.
How would a bulb click in? Anyways, a bulb just click in.
Like those basement lights.
my Filipino. My Filipino's coming through. A bulb just click in. When you said, because I've been reading a lot of materials, when you said, I wanted to just rest at that moment, it almost sounded to me like when therapists talk about how emotional trauma becomes somatic.
Yeah.
Like it becomes your physical body. That's what it was.
Yeah. That's like when people that are dealing with depression say it's painful. Yeah.
Like you can't physically function because now it's all your body has this memory.
Yeah.
That is prohibiting you.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so did it take you a while to get over that, or you're still experiencing those similar experiences?
I find that sometimes I do get overstimulated around certain people. Like, and I can feel the energy through the phone. Sometimes, like, if somebody calls me and they're like hype on the phone, and maybe I don't even have to be going through anything. Maybe in my state of mind at that moment before I picked up the phone, I was at rest and they're excited on the other phone. I immediately get turned off. It's triggering for me because this is not, and especially like I find too is like if my energy is like here and I meet up with someone and they don't match it, I'm going to bring it right down. because clearly they're not. But some people don't. Some people lack awareness and they don't catch that. So they'll continue because they want to get you excited. But it's like, I shouldn't even picked up my phone. Not because they did anything. Like, you're just not in the place to be hearing or receiving the energy.
You're not at the same frequency.
You're just not at the same frequency, right? So that cottage trip, again, nobody knew what was going on in my
your
head,
brain, in your body.
because it's like, oh, it's Jen. Like, what do you mean Jen just wants to sit upstairs? And like, yeah, everybody was excited. And when I did go downstairs, I would hang out and stuff, but I laid around a lot too. Because again, I'm overstimulated. I'm overwhelmed. I feel like I have to entertain because I'm a huge entertainer. As in, I'm always talking to people. I'm very social, like a social butterfly. And I feel like that's what people were used to. So when I went into this place where I needed to just shut down, it was very hard for people to understand. Like, it didn't make sense. Like, oh, why is Jen upstairs? Right? That's when I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so anxious around these people that I probably saw the week prior.
Because people had this nugget of expectation, like you're supposed to be always in that same mood, always in that same energy, but you're human.
Yeah.
You're allowed to ebb and flow.
Yeah.
And the true friends will understand that.
Yeah, like, it wasn't an issue or anything, but for me, like, being there, I was like thinking, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, why do I feel like
you
this?
had a moment there.
Yeah. And also too, like, I found, like, I took a nap. I stayed upstairs. I took a nap. I rested a bit. And when I came down, I was fine. But like, for me, it was even new for me. So much less of people on the outside that don't understand like exactly what's going on. Because again, we were all excited about this cottage. We talked about it. We talked about things that we were going to do. Like, we looked at photos. So what do you mean the mood is not matching?
And probably at that time, your energy was also different. Your frequency was, and then you got there and you're like, oh my God, I just want to relax, actually.
Yeah, I just want to rest. Like, yeah. So
it's your nervous system.
It was just shot. And it had nothing to do with anybody there. It was just like my time to be feeling like that. And that's when I noticed that I was an anxious person. And then I noticed it a little bit more and more. But like, yeah, like I was saying now, like, I've embodied happiness. And I used to have anhedonia for the longest time. And man, I was never clinically depressed or on meds, but I can only imagine how terrible that must feel, especially after my dad had passed away. I remember, I probably said this to you before, when nighttime came, I would get anxious because it's like, I have to go to bed and wake up and do this again. I hated the nighttime. It was like doom. It literally, and I would lay awake at night and I wouldn't sleep. And it was, again, anxiety about having to go through all these emotions again. But I'm in a place now in my life where I'm like actually happy with myself and like actually proud of myself. I never used to. I thought that was somebody else's job to do for me. Like, oh, I'm so proud of you, Jen. I never was proud of myself. I was just doing the things. Remember, we talked about doing and being. But yeah, I'm in a place where I've embodied happiness in my soul. So I feel like moving forward, well, last year it was very difficult because I was like, oh, I'm just so happy. Like, can we just stay here, right?
But
and
then
like,
you go like this.
Yeah, but it's like, oh, but Jen, remember the things that we were supposed to be doing? I know we put them on hold because of all the crazy
shenanigans.
stuff, shenanigans that happened.
Yeah.
We need to pick them back up. And I'm like, what? But this is so fun. I mean, can we just rest a bit more? That's how I
think.
feel.
I think it's just this dysregulated nervous system that needed to kind of do like a full reset.
Yeah.
Not just like a surface rest.
Yeah.
But like a full deep reset.
Yeah. And I've also been reading a lot about like how certain types of trauma affect you mentally, but how it like what you just dysregulated, like how it completely rewires your brain. And but anyhow,
that's why our body always wants homeostasis, because it always wants to be in that place of not dysregulated. So when you're like in survival mode and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna rest. This is too much.
Yeah.
Because you're just overwhelmed.
Just up here. Yeah.
Crazy how that works with our nervous system.
It's like, oh my God.
But you're in a great place right now.
I'm in a great place, and I'm looking forward to this year. I'm super excited for this year.
And you're gonna be ebbing and flowing.
The what?
You're gonna be ebbing and flowing.
Ebbing and flowing, yes.
That's the goal. Because it's not always gonna be a great ride. It's not always gonna be walk in the park. Yeah. There's gonna be situations in 2025 where you're gonna need to ebb and flow, and you have no choice but to ebb and flow. I'm sorry to say, but that is bottom line. You have how life works.
If you don't ebb and flow, you're not gonna make it to where you're going.
And I was always in that mindset of like, I always want to be happy. I want life every day to be happy, no stress, no stressors of some sort. But then something will happen that will throw you off that, and you're like, my life is over. I don't want to deal. I don't want to, but
I don't want to deal.
It's almost like, because we're energetic beings and emotional beings, you have to kind of feel that, let that pass, and then snap out of it and come back.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to.
You know when they say, is it rhinos that run into the storm? There is an animal. I was reading this somewhere. When the rain is coming, they don't run from the rain. They run through it, because they will be out of the rain quicker than those running away, because the rain eventually catches up to you and rides with you. Where these animals run towards the rain.
So they'll be over soon.
It'll be over sooner.
Interesting.
Yes. So that analogy was about, like facing your fears and your problems head on, because it's true. If you don't face them, because sometimes we've talked about this before. I don't know which episode, where we talked about when you don't actually recognize the issue, it seems so much bigger in your mind than it probably is. You don't know what you're dealing with, but you're freaking out about it.
Like if you don't sit on it, you mean? Like if you don't study it, if you don't, like dissect it.
Yes.
Okay.
But even before you dissect it, you have to recognize it.
That there's a problem.
Yeah, you have to recognize what the problem is. Because sometimes when you're like, oh, I don't know, is it this and this? It's like people that don't look at their bank account because they know it's low, but they're stressing about it all the time. And it's like, yeah, but why don't you just look? Then that way at least you know what you're working with and you can make plans.
You know why they don't look though?
Yes, because they don't want to see. They don't want to see how bad it is.
I mean, it's like that in anything.
Yes, exactly.
Why aren't you calling that friend?
Yes.
Because maybe you have unresolved issue. Why aren't you dealing with something with your parents about this? Because,
Because you don't want to start up that whole,
And again, that's being like a fight or flight moment.
Exactly.
Everything comes down to our nervous system and how we deal with things. Yeah. But our subconscious mind plays a huge part. It's like the main controller of our system. Anyway, that's another episode.
The Archetypes book?
Yes. That's another episode for another time.
But yes.
But I think I have a good feeling about this year.
Oh, this is it.
What about you?
This is my year, girl. I told myself
this is it. Claim it.
Yes. This is my year. I'm like, I'm going to do all the things because like I said, I made my vision board and I broke things down so it's not so overwhelming. Mm-hmm. And, I'm going to do these. I even broke down my months for the first half of the year. Mm-hmm. These are the things we're going to do, especially with school too, because it's like ongoing courses. Yeah. And then the second half, this is what we're going to do. And I feel good about it.
And I love that for you.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you're back because this is going to be the celebration of our 1 year here at the Kamu Talks.
I know.
By the way, too.
Uh-oh. Abby!
Nothing crazy, but we know people love some stories. People requested to,
Yes.
So I was talking to my dad this morning, and he said, "You know what? Ask Jenn AB."
I did so.
And we love a good conspiracy theory. So, and I know you were the best person I wanted to ask too, because you know how we are with conspiracy theories. So my dad supports the Kamu Talks so much. He's like, okay, so what are you guys gonna talk about next time? Are you guys gonna talk about aliens? And he wants to hear about alien stories. And I'm like, Dad, I have no alien stories.
I actually don't have alien stories. Why the alien stories?
He loves alien stuff. Before we end this episode, my dearest, we would like to invite you to please subscribe, follow, and like the show. It helps us build our community. And just so you know, for the month of February, the Kamu shop is giving 15% off of all our products. Again, thank you, Jenn AB.
Thank you for having me.
AB.
I
Oh,
can't believe about this cake.
we have to eat our cake, and also we didn't show them our finished makeup
our
makeup
look.
product.
Make sure I look good.
Woohoo.
Yes.
I mean,
Guys, how did we do for makeup
I
application?
feel like nothing really happened. Mine is very natural.
Yeah. I feel like mine's natural
Yeah.
too. Just
We'll
very
do a
shiny.
more dramatic take
Ooh,
next time.
Maybe, yes. We can do
Mhm.
eyeshadow and stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, this
All
was
right.
so fun. Oh my gosh, this was fun. And I got to do, I guess I have to wash my face. I was like, I gotta do my skincare.
Oh, you're gonna walk around with your face like this
We're gonna go
for
to
the
eat
whole day.
lunch,
Yes,
so
we
can look
are.
cute at lunch.
Thanks, guys, for supporting and watching. To those of you who are watching the show, you know who you are. We love you very dearly. And if you have any suggestion, anything, any topic that you guys want to hear, just comment down below. Let me know. Instagram, YouTube. We love you very much.
Yes, please let us know if you want us to talk about, some other
Anything.
stuff. Yes.
Yeah. Till next time.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.